Picture this. You've just invested in your fifth software solution this year, hoping it would finally bring order to your operations. But instead of solving problems, it feels like you're adding new ones. Now you're drowning in a sea of disconnected systems. You're logging into 6 different platforms just to process another customer order. You find yourself copying and pasting data between systems, and somehow you've become a full-time software manager instead of running your business. And your team, they're frustrated. They're spending more time fighting with software than actually doing their jobs. Their tasks are slipping through the cracks and they're experiencing communication breakdowns. Sound familiar? Does it feel like no matter how much software you add, the chaos only grows? You're not alone. Many business owners find themselves in this situation, and the missing piece isn't more software, it's better orchestration. Today, I'm going to walk you through the secrets of making your software work for you instead of you working for it. Defining orchestration. Think about your business right now. You probably have a CRM, project management tools, email marketing software, and maybe half a dozen other systems. Each one is powerful on its own, but they're individual experts working in separate rooms, skilled but isolated. Orchestration is the missing layer of intelligence that finally brings these experts together. It's what connects your software, processes, and workflows into a cohesive automated system where everything just flows. It ensures that work moves smoothly, systems communicate seamlessly, and your entire workflow operates like a well-oiled machine. Think about it this way. Automation is like having skilled workers who can each complete their own assigned tasks, but without a project manager, they're just confused. They don't know where to start, what order to follow, or how to hand off work between each other and to the next person. That's where orchestration comes in and acts as the project manager for your software tools, making sure everything happens at the right time and in the right sequence. Here's an example. A new lead fills out your contact form. Without orchestration, your team has to jump into action. First, somebody needs to manually create the contact in your CRM, then they have to set up the right email sequences. Next, they're creating tasks in your project management tool, and after that, they're having to update your contact database, your customer database rather. And finally, they have to go back and check that everything transferred correctly. But with orchestration, the moment that your form is submitted, your system automatically handles every step. No human intervention necessary. So the data flows exactly where it needs to go, and it goes when it needs to get there. The system automatically detects the new lead, updates the statuses, triggers emails, and syncs your data across all of those platforms. More importantly, orchestration becomes your single source of truth, the definitive guide for how your business actually operates, instead of relying on tribal knowledge or scattered documentation. Now your processes are standardized, ensuring work gets done right every time. Here's something crucial to understand. Your business likely has orchestration today. It's probably just manual. It might be you or someone on your team actually acting as a human bridge between these systems, managing the processes by hand and making sure everything stays in sync. And there's nothing wrong with that until it's time to scale. As your business grows, manual orchestration becomes unsustainable. What works when you have a handful of clients or a small team quickly turns into a nightmare when you're juggling dozens of new leads, customers, and workflows every day. The inefficiencies compound. Errors increase, and suddenly what once felt like manageable becomes overwhelming. You're probably seeing the warning signs already. Your team is spending more time managing systems and serving clients. Different team members are handling the same processes in different ways. Information is getting stuck between platforms, and maybe critical data is becoming inconsistent across systems. Simple tasks are taking way too long to complete, and delays and miscommunications are creeping into your processes. Does that sound familiar? Well, these are the signals that it's time to move from manual orchestration to systemized or automatic orchestration. When you do, you'll finally have a system that runs consistently and efficiently. Your data integrity will be maintained across all platforms. Manual handoffs and bottlenecks will all but be eliminated. And most importantly, your systems will scale smoothly as your business grows, freeing your team to focus on what really matters. Now, orchestration isn't just about automating tasks. It's about ensuring that all of your business processes work together seamlessly. Think about it as the central nervous system of your business operations. To understand how it all works, let's break down 5 key components that make orchestration truly effective. First, let's talk about triggers. These are the events that set everything in motion, like dominoes starting a chain reaction. Imagine a new customer submitting an inquiry form on your website, or maybe an invoice getting marked as paid, a project status changes to complete, or a customer subscription is about to expire. Each of these triggers initiates a carefully planned sequence of actions across your systems, setting the whole process in motion. The second component is workflows, and this is where things get interesting. Unlike simple automation, workflows are intelligent pathways that guide work through the organization. They define not what is just happening, but when it happens. Think of workflows as your business playbook. They ensure everything happens not only in order, but in the right order. They handle dependencies between tasks, manage time and coordination, and can even adapt to different scenarios and conditions. Third, I want to talk to you a little bit about integration or connectors. You're probably familiar with these. These are absolutely crucial. These are the bridges between your different software systems, and without them, even the best workflow can break down at the handoff points. Good integrations enable seamless data flow between platforms. It translates information between those systems and maintains data consistency across your entire stack. More importantly, they eliminate the need for manual data entry, which is often the source of errors and delays. Fourth, we have decision logic, and this is where orchestration truly shines. It's not just about moving your data, it's about making intelligent decisions. Your orchestration system becomes a reliable decision maker, consistently following your business rules. It can route leads to the right sales rep based on territory or expertise. It can escalate support tickets when your response times are too long, or it can adjust workflow paths based on customer preferences. And it can implement business rules consistently across all these processes. Finally, there's monitoring optimization. A well-designed orchestration system is always learning and improving. It consistently tracks performance metrics across all processes. It identifies bottlenecks and efficiencies, and it should provide clear visibility into your systems and workflow operations. This ongoing monitoring enables continuous improvement for your workflows, ensuring your system gets more efficient over time. When all of these components work together, something remarkable happens. Your operations transform from a collection of isolated processes into a truly cohesive, scalable system. Instead of managing multiple disconnected tools, you have a unified platform that ensures consistency across your operations. It'll reduce your manual intervention and human error. It'll scale as your business grows, and it'll provide you the clear visibility that you need into your entire process. Looking at all of these components, you may be wondering, how do they come together in the real world? Well, let's explore some practical examples to show how orchestration looks in action. Understanding the concept of orchestration is one thing, but seeing it in action is where the impact truly becomes clear. Let's look at some diverse examples that show how orchestration transforms business operations. Take a customer support and service delivery example, for instance. When a customer submits a support ticket, the orchestration system can begin. First, it automatically routes the ticket to the right specialist based on the issue type. At the same time, it can instantly attach all previous interactions and customer history, giving your support team the full context that it needs. The system doesn't have to stop there. It can immediately suggest related resources and solutions, helping your team respond faster and more effectively. And if your team starts lagging, the system automatically escalates the ticket to ensure customers don't wait too long for help. Throughout this process, it's gathering data about resolution patterns to enhance your knowledge base. And when everything's wrapped up, it triggers a customer satisfaction survey at the end. You know you love those. Now, let's look at another example. Maybe e-commerce fulfillment. The moment a customer places an order in your system, the orchestration can begin to kick into gear and start by selecting the optimal warehouse based on the inventory levels and location. Then it can automatically generate shipping labels, finding the best carrier rates without any manual comparison shopping, right? As this happens, the system is also updating inventory levels across your sales channels, ensuring that you never oversell. And when stock gets low, it triggers new purchase orders automatically. Meanwhile, your financial systems are capturing each transaction, and your customers are getting real-time updates throughout the entire process. And here's one more critical example. IT security and compliance, everyone's favorite. So let's say in this onboarding scenario, when an employee joins your company, orchestration ensures that everything happens smoothly. The system automatically provisions all of their software accounts while setting up the right access and permissions based on their roles. Training modules are scheduled automatically, and security policies are enforced consistently across all of your systems. The orchestration system keeps watching, monitoring, and looking for unusual patterns and scheduling regular security audits to maintain compliance. When orchestration is applied to the process, it doesn't just automate tasks. It transforms how your business operates. Your team can finally stop spending time on repetitive tasks and start focusing on what really matters: serving customers, growing the business, and innovating for the future. And the result? A business that operates with greater accuracy, speed, and scalability, where your systems work together seamlessly and your team can focus on high-value activities. Now that you've seen orchestration in action, you might be wondering, where do I start? Or how do I move from manual to systemized or automated orchestration? Don't worry, I'm going to break this down into 3 manageable steps that any business can follow. Let's start with the most crucial step: mapping your current process. I can't express this enough. Before you can improve anything, you need to understand exactly how work flows through your business today. Think about what repetitive tasks your team handles every day. Where do they spend most of their time? Where do they get stuck? I want you to pay special attention to these manual handoffs, the places where somebody has to copy information from one system to another, or where work sits waiting for someone to push it forward. These are your opportunities for orchestration. Here's a practical way to do this. Pick one of your core processes, like how you handle new leads or support tickets. Follow it from start all the way to finish. Document every single step, every tool used, every handoff point. You'll probably be surprised at how many manual steps you actually have in your system. When you have a clear picture of all of your workflow, the next step is to identify the right tools for integration. Now, here's some good news. You don't necessarily need to replace your existing software. Instead, focus on making your current tools work for you. Most of them have some form of orchestration built in. Look at your core systems, your CRM, your project management tools, your financial software, maybe even your customer service platforms. How well do they talk to each other? Where are the gaps? Maybe your CRM doesn't automatically update your project management tool, or your billing system isn't connected to your customer database. This is where middleware tools can be incredibly powerful. Platforms like Zapier, Make, or N8N can bridge the gaps, creating connections between systems that weren't built to work together. Think of them as digital translators, helping your tools speak the same language. The final step is building and optimizing these orchestration systems. This is where many businesses make crucial mistakes. They try to orchestrate everything all at once. Instead, I recommend starting small and scaling up. Pick one crucial workflow, maybe it's your lead handling process or your customer onboarding sequence, and build out the automation for that single process. Get it working smoothly, and then monitor the results and rinse and repeat. Learn what works and what doesn't work. As you see success with your first workflow, you can gradually expand your orchestration. Add more complex logic, connect more systems, build more sophisticated workflows. The key is continuous improvement. Your orchestration system should grow and evolve with your business. Remember, the goal isn't to automate everything overnight. It is to systematically eliminate manual tasks, reduce errors, and create more efficient operation. Start with the processes that cost the most headache or consume the most time. These are usually the ones that will give you your biggest return on orchestration investment. By following these steps, mapping your processes, connecting your tools, and building your orchestration system gradually, you can transform your business operations from manual and fragmented to automated and cohesive. Now, you may be thinking, that sounds great, but what kind of results can I actually expect? Let's talk about what actually happens when you implement orchestration in your business. Not just theory, but the tangible results you can expect to see. First, and most immediately, you'll notice a dramatic reduction in manual tasks. These hours your team spend copying data between systems, checking if things were done correctly, and managing handoffs. You get that time back. I've seen businesses reduce their manual data entry by up to 90% within just the first few months of proper orchestration. But the impact goes far beyond just saving time. Let's talk about accuracy. When you're relying on manual processes, mistakes are inevitable. Someone types in the wrong email, forgets to update a status, misses a critical step in your workflow. With orchestration, the human errors virtually disappear. Your data moves automatically, consistently, and accurately across all your platforms. The customer experience transforms as well. Think about what happens when a customer reaches out to your business. Without orchestration, they might wait hours for a response while their request gets routed to the right person. With orchestration, the inquiry is instantly assigned to the right team member with all of the relevant information right at their hands. Response times drop from hours to minutes. And here's something that may surprise you. Orchestration actually improves employee satisfaction. Well, how's that? Because instead of spending days on repetitive tasks and fighting with the software, your team focuses on what they do best, whether that's closing sales, solving customer problems, or building your product. They feel more productive, more valued, and engaged in their work. Now, let's talk about scalability. When your business is small, manual processes, they might work fine. But what happens when your customer base doubles or triples? Without orchestration, you'd need to hire more people just to handle the increased workload. With orchestration, your systems scale automatically. The same workflows that handle 10 customers a day can handle hundreds without breaking a sweat. The financial impact is also significant too. Beyond the obvious savings in labor cost, orchestration helps prevent revenue leaks. No more forgotten follow-ups with hot leads, no more missed renewal notifications, no more billing errors. Every process runs like clockwork, ensuring you capitalize on every revenue opportunity. But perhaps the most valuable benefit is the visibility you gain into your business operations. With a well-orchestrated system, you can see exactly where work is flowing, where it's getting stuck, and where your opportunities for improvement lie. You're no longer flying blind. You have real insights into every aspect of your operations. I've seen businesses transform after implementing proper orchestration. Sales teams start closing 30% more deals because they're finally spending time selling instead of managing data. Support teams handle twice as much of their previous ticket volume without adding a single new hire. Operations team cut their process completion times by up to 75%. Most impressively, companies scale their revenue significantly without the usual proportional increase in team size. And the best part? These aren't one-time improvements. As your orchestration system learns and optimizes over time, the benefits compound. Your process becomes more efficient, your team becomes more productive, and your business becomes more profitable. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds great, but is it really worth the investment? Next, we'll talk about ROI. Let me share a perspective that's close to my heart. As a youth football coach, I've seen firsthand what happens when there's no coordination on the field. You can have the most talented quarterback, the fastest receivers, and the strongest defensive line, but without proper coordination, it's just chaos. Think about those first practices of the season. Every player knows their individual role, but they're not yet working as a team. Your quarterback might make a perfect throw, but if the receiver isn't running the right route, then it doesn't matter. Your defensive line might be strong, but if they're not coordinating with the linebackers, gaps will appear. You can ask Saquon Barkley about that. This is exactly what I see happening in businesses today. You've got powerful tools. Your CRM is like your quarterback. Your project management is like your software's offensive line, and your billing system is your special teams. But without proper orchestration, they're just running their own plays. Let me share something that really brings this home. A few months ago, I was talking to a business owner. Let's call her Jackie. Her company was growing fast, adding new clients every week. But instead of celebrating, she was exhausted. "Terrence," she said, "I feel like I'm playing every position on the field at once." She had great tools, and she was the one calling every play, making every adjustment, coordinating every move. Every morning, she'd spend hours checking that the lead made it from her website to her CRM, and that tasks were created in Asana, and that invoices were getting generated correctly. It was like trying to be the quarterback, but also coaching from the sidelines. Impossible to do both effectively. And the cost? It's bigger than most realize. Just like how a missed assignment on the field can turn into a potential touchdown for the other team. Talked to Pat Mahomes about that one. The cost of poor orchestration compounds quickly. First, there's the obvious time cost. If you're spending even 15 minutes per lead on manual updates, that's 25 hours a month with just 100 leads. Then there's the opportunity cost. Every hour spent coordinating plays is about an hour spent not developing your team. Make sense? Finally, there's the error cost. When you're trying to watch every position at once, you're bound to miss something crucial. But here's what really hits home. As your business grows, these costs don't just add up, they multiply. It's like trying to run the same basic play that worked in youth football at the college level. What works with 10 clients becomes overwhelming at 50 and nearly impossible at 100. I see this pattern repeated across businesses of all sizes. Another client, a marketing agency, was working 80-hour weeks just to keep operations running smoothly. He had 6 different software tools, and none of them were in sync. It was like having 6 players all running different plays from different playbooks. This is where proper orchestration changes everything. It's like bringing in a coordinated coaching system. Every play is called with purpose and timing. Every player knows exactly their role and responsibility. The team can adjust to situations automatically. Everyone can now move in sync towards the same goal. When we implemented orchestration in Jackie's business, the transformation was dramatic. Those hours spent coordinating manual updates, gone. The constant worry about missteps or errors, eliminated. Her team could finally execute their roles with precision, just like a well-coached team on game day. The same happened with our marketing agency owner. Within weeks, his 80-hour weeks became 50-hour weeks, and his team's productivity doubled. For the first time in years, he could step back and actually strategize instead of just running plays. Imagine that in your business. If you're looking at your technology stack right now and wondering how to make it all work together, I'd love to have a conversation. Whether you're just starting to think about orchestration or you're already struggling with manual processes, sometimes the best first step is talking it through with someone who's been there. I set aside time every week to speak one-on-one with business owners about their technology challenges. No pressure, no sales pitch, just straightforward conversation about making your technology work better for your business. You can schedule time with me directly at innovara.com/book, or you can find the link in the description below. Let's talk about where you are now and where your business wants to be. Remember, just like in football, individual talent only takes you so far. It's the coordination and orchestration that wins championships. Let's get your business running like a championship team. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive into picking the right tools for your orchestration strategy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Thanks.